You're back with another one. Top 10 sacrifice anime. Hold up. Go ahead and put that in the watch later. Top 10 saddest fairy tale moments by VinnyTube. Go ahead and like their video, subscribe, like my video, subscribe. Do all that. Let's get into
years
it.
now, and through the years, we've seen plenty of heartbreak and sentimental scenes emerge from the much-loved manga and anime.
It's good
We've
going back
cheered the
to
beloved
anime I've seen.
mages on, cried for them
So
when they
it's
were at their
more
lowest
like,
points, and
no
laughed
questions,
alongside
like,
them throughout
what
their
is
adventures.
that? What's
With
going
the show
on?
currently on its final season, we're counting down the 10 most heartbreaking scenes from Fairy
Wait, on
Tail.
its final-
From
so this is
emotional
not
character
when it was
deaths to
over.
tearful goodbyes, let's take a look
this
at
is
the scenes that
2019,
made
okay.
many of us become a faithful member of the Fairy Tail family.
What is with that fake happy right there?
Become a faithful member.
Wait, what is with that fake happy? They just stuck that in, bro. Like they just be sticking these random people, like random things in the background. Cause you know you're supposed to be paying attention to Loxus.
Of the Fairy Tail family.
Just the fake happy's eyes, looking dumb as hell. Oh, that was, they getting into it like that? I bet.
We start off the list with the moment when Laxus leaves Fairy Tail. The decision to wage a war against members of his own guild ultimately led to him being kicked out. While the action itself wasn't what moved us, what came next surely did. As the Fantasia parade carried on and everyone in Magnolia enjoyed themselves, a familiar symbol coined by Laxus at a young age with his grandfather near him rose into the hands of all the Fairy Tail members.
I didn't know I like
a
Laxus
symbol
like
known
that.
as I'm looking your way and moving Laxus enough to break down and look towards his family with tears in his eyes. Knowing his family was still there, waiting for
He
him
does
to
have some of the
return a
coolest
better
moments,
and
though. Every
changed
time he
man
shows up,
was
shit
more
gets
than
cool.
enough for the electric maid
So,
to carry on
I mean, I
and
guess-
move on from his past mistakes.
He might be my favorite character, because honestly, who else? All the main cast, they cool and all. They not as cool as Loxus.
スカーレット、お前の髪の色のことだ。これなら絶対忘れない。
At number 9, we have Jalal's arrest, where Urza cries for Jalal. With Jalal back on the good side once more, many members of the Fairy Tail Guild look forward to what happens next for the once enemy wizard. However, criminal pasts aren't easy to overlook, especially in the eyes of the law. Soon enough, Jalal's taken away to serve his time for his crimes against Fiore, despite the efforts of his new friends and allies. His parting words were a memory of how he came to give Urza her last name before disappearing. As dawn comes the next morning, we're greeted by the appearance of Fairy Tail's strongest female having a total breakdown, a scene that left us in awe of how even the strongest of us have our breaking points.
顔を上げれば美しい空が広がっているのに顔を上げれば
Yeah, she devastated right now.
何これみんなあんたたち
No, no, I hated that arc. That arc was so. I was just like, bro, you guys are going to die. Hurry up, stop bullshitting. But that's every arc. I'm not gonna lie.
どうなってるんだ。
Except for the tournament arc. That was my favorite.
やよ
Ooh, ooh, ooh! This hit me. I was like, yo,
Next up, it's the moment when Wendy
everyone she
finds
knows
out
is
the
fake.
truth about Kate
What?
Shelter. If you thought Jalal's exit was hard, then what came after would prove to be even worse. Kate Shelter, the guild that took Wendy in and raised her, would soon be revealed to be nothing more than a mere illusion created by the guildmaster in order to make her feel happy and loved. And while Wendy's time with her guild would soon come to an end, seeing her tears for her guildmaster and its member to return stuck to our hearts. What really did it and made this moment was when Wendy was at her lowest, Urza reached out to help her. Knowing the pain of losing someone you care for, Urza opened a new door for Wendy and helped her find a new family, that family being the Fairy Tail Guild.
It was factual. This video giving me chills, bruh, because it's just like memories of just, ooh, emotions. All those emotions. Sacrifice. Bro, don't even count
At
this. I
number
knew that
7,
nigga was gonna be
it's
good.
Makarov's sacrifice.
Them niggas don't die in
We've
this
seen
show. The
plenty
fuck?
of sacrifices and tough decisions made in the most recent season, but few seem to compare with Makarov's decision to lessen the number of enchanted foot soldiers so his children could continue the battle without having to deal with the minor threats. This comes at a cost, however, and by using fairy lore, it ultimately leads the Fairy Tail Guildmaster to his own death, even though he managed to defeat
Cap.
70 to 80% of the enemy. Standing stoically in place and with a protective stance, Makarov passes away and leaves his children knowing the true cost of war and that they now have something to fight for, as well as the desire not to lose anyone else in the final battle between themselves and Zeref.
If he, you know, stayed dead, I would be like, oh shit, Makarov, you know, but no, that's Cap. Nigga come right back. Nigga's cool. Not right back, you know. Just be, they show up like, hey, Makarov's fine. Like, what? Bro, what?
Moving on to number 6, we have Altier's Sacrifice. The grand magic games end in a way none of us thought possible, with an eerie warning of the future and many of us witnessing the deaths of many of our favorite characters. It was hard to accept the best possible ending. Altier, a villain who'd been moved to do good, deciding her own life was not worth more than those around her, casts last ages in the hope of saving her allies from an unspeakable fate. After she casts her spell and only manages to rewind time by a mere minute, her thoughts about her life being worth only a minute takes us on an emotional roller coaster. However, what comes next is what truly made Altier's sacrifice stick in our hearts. As Grey catches sight of her old and grey form on the way back to Magnolia, she tells him not to seek her out. With the idea of him losing his mother and daughter who helped save him, he's moved to tears himself, as were we.
I forgot Altier was Or's daughter. Gray really is a curse to they family. Dead ass. Come in contact with Gray, you fucked up. Capitals were not true.
Next, we have Gargiel's death. Gargiel Red Fox was introduced originally as a foil for Natsu.
Bro, this was even
a
worse than the
dragon slayer
Makarov
with different
one.
morals and at times questionable actions. But when he joined a
Like,
fairy
bro, that's
tale and
Cat.
changed for the better, it was clear many of us were becoming attached to him. From how he defended the lovable bookworm Levy to giving his all to make Panther Lily's
talking about
Exceed companion,
death.
Gargiel quickly
Not
became
the
a
list,
favorite
like,
in the
no, the
series.
death.
But when Bloodman's
That's Cap.
vortex
These
proved
niggas
too
not
much
dead,
for him
bro.
to handle, he ultimately decided he needed to take the enemy out with him as well if need be.
At the time, I was like,
Despite
this nigga not
Levy's
dying,
plea
bro.
for him to let her help,
It's Gargiel.
she's held back by Panther Lily. Then comes Gargiel's confession, saying he
He's also
wanted
a
to be
cool-ass
with
character.
her forever, and that a future without her was his greatest fear. Then he's gone, and many of us were left terrified that we'd just witnessed the end of the Dragon Slayer. But luckily, by Irene's magic, he was alive and well again, despite the loop of emotions many had been thrown through.
I knew damn well that nigga was coming back, bro. Yes. Lucy's death? Oh, future Lucy. Oh, okay. One that actually stuck.
At number 4, we have future Lucy's death. The arrival of the melancholy Lucy Heartfilia from the future made viewers know that what was to come next would be unexpected. With future Rogue dead set on killing the current day Lucy, it was clear the future Lucy knew she'd have to sacrifice herself in order to save the future and her own past self. She asked to see her guild mark once more as her final words. As she takes her last breath, we see how greatly her death would affect the most influential people in her life.
I'm not gonna lie, I would fuck up that last moment. I'd be like, let me see the mark. And they'd be like, what mark? I'd be like, shit, the fuck, what is it called? Black. Like, that's...
From Wendy and
I'm not
Carla's
doing
stunned
last words,
silence,
bro.
with their
I'm dying in
eyes brimming
silence.
with tears,
I'm not gonna
the
look out
happiest
like I'm
tearful
not
goodbye
dying
to
looking
future
like an
Lucy, and then finally, to Natsu's angered desire to make sure this doesn't happen again to Lucy, it drove many of us to tears. So much that when future Lucy did indeed pass on and meet her guild once more in the afterlife, we cried in relief along with the Celestial Mage.
The emotions, oh my lord. The emotions. I'm feeling them all again. Except for those two cap deaths.
Next up, it's Silver's goodbye. Gray's past and the trauma of Deliura drove him to become a stronger and capable wizard. So when the Tartaros Guild raised his father from the dead, it seemed that Gray was going to relive the past of losing his father. To make matters worse, Juvia was forced to choose between giving her own life so Gray could remain with his father, or kill the necromancer who brought him back in order to defeat the Demon Guild. In the end, with a teary goodbye and a new ability, Gray says goodbye to his father. Silver's parting words help both Juvia and Gray move forward, but not without feeling guilty for their actions.
Gray's dad looked cool as hell. He got that scar. He's like, he got the little chin, you know, cool as hell. I was kind of hoping they do like a future version, like when they all grown, like grown. They adults, you know, Makarov. Urza will be like the leader of the guild master.
At number 2, we have another death. Yes, you guessed it. It's Igneal's death. The Tartaros arc not only had the...
Alright, this one didn't hurt because I know they've been talking about Igneal the whole time, but literally this is the first time we saw him. Then he dies right after. Yeah, it hurts for Natsu, not for me. I don't know the nigga. Like, you've been talking about him, but I don't know what he's like. I haven't spent no time with him, but like, it's like no flashbacks or anything. I don't know nothing about his backstory. It's just, you know, it didn't hurt.
Of Gray's father, but also of Natsu's adopted father Igneal as well. Since the beginning of the series, Natsu had been searching for his father who disappeared. When the pair were reunited, it seemed all was well, or at least until Acnologia ended Igneal's life right there before Natsu's eyes. Even after Mardgear was defeated and the other Dragon Slayers were bidding goodbye to their own dragon parents, Natsu was mourning the death of his own dragon parent. But despite the pain and tears that Igneal's death brought, Natsu moved even further and vowed to get even stronger to protect the ones he loved from the same fate.
You've been happy crying because you just feel so sorry for Natsu. Ooh, this one had me hurt. She didn't show up often,
finally,
but like
at number 1, we have the
they had a relationship.
When Lucy breaks Aquarius's key. Lucy Heartfilia wasn't known as a brutal fighter in the fairy tale series. However, when backed against the wall and with her guild members in need of her help, she's always willing to give her all in order to save them. Thus, she was given the ultimate choice to make: save her friends or keep one of the few momentums of her mother, the celestial spirit Aquarius. Despite the hard decision and Aquarius pushing her to do it, Lucy was still conflicted to the point where her own life was in danger thanks to Jackal. But with Aquarius's moving words, Lucy breaks her key and summons the celestial spirit king. Despite her saving the day, it was clear the loss of Aquarius was something that would take her a while to get over. And even in the present day anime, Lucy's resolve to find Aquarius's new key shows how dedicated she is to having the spirit at her side once more.
I don't remember. Why did she not use any of her other golden keys?
It's sad to think Fairy Tail will end soon, but looking back at all the memories and good times they've shared and given us, it's clear that the anime had become so much more than a mere show to many of us. From the guild members' hardships to their tears and resolve to move forward, we've been there alongside them each step of the way.
Did it have to be her closest one? I don't remember.
Close, no matter how much time passes or new shows we fall in love with, Fairy Tail will always remain strong in our hearts.
That's factual. That's factual. It wasn't the best, but you know, it's factual. I'm not gonna lie, you know? They be doing a lot of shonen tropes in Fairy Tail. Like, you see one shonen, you seen Fairy Tail. But this one is a good, you know, a great shonen. I'm not gonna lie. It's brought me for a trip. Like, I still have them little bumps on my arm and shit. It's like, whoo. Yeah. If you guys like this, go ahead and like it. Let me know what you want me to react to in the comments. I've done both suggestions. Just the Gintama one got blocked, unfortunately. So if you want your thing, just put it in the comments. And you know, if I don't do it, it's probably because I'll just, you know, I want to actually listen to it and like I'll talk over it if I do a reaction to it. So You know, I don't even got anything else to say. I'm out. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.